COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
My glasses nearly just fell out the window. This is why you need to be careful, kids. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you very much, frontline workers! All right, there we go. Yeah, like I say, we start that way every day. Who cares if no one else is doing it downtown right now? There are some places, some neighborhoods that actually are really getting into it downtown. So that is good. Welcome to Coping with Isolation. This is episode 30. Can you believe it is episode 30? I'm just going to plug in my microphone and my earphones. One. And there. All right. How's that? Can you hear me? Hello, testing. Hopefully you're hearing the dulcet tones now of one Kevin Frankish. How is everybody doing today? It is a kind of another coolish day, a cloudy one. We had some rain moving through the area and some for a bit through here. The word for today, or the words, I should say, cautious optimism. Cautious optimism. I'm going to put that comment on. Donna likes the shirt. I love the shirt too. Here's Kelly saying, treating myself to a T-bone steak, and why not? Why not do something nice for yourself? I'm going to make the comments just a little bit bigger. There we go. Now, the reason I'm using the words cautious optimism today is because this story came out in the Star just a couple of hours ago. The epidemic's growth has slowed overall in the province this week. A trend continued in the last 24 hours. Since 5 p.m. Saturday, total cases have grown by 561 patients, or 5%. Now, that is slower daily growth than in recent weeks. So that is why I'm saying cautious optimism. We can't just, all right, we can let our guard down. No, what it means is it's working. So this has not all been for naught, and you are not sitting in isolation for no reason whatsoever. So cautious optimism. I am, and I know you are very excited because I've already seen a lot of the comments. Someone special is joining us for today. Would you please welcome Winston Sih?
Hello.
Just a second. Wait, please wait for the applause to die down. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Wait. Okay. There we go. Got some applause there for you in the background.
Nice.
Okay. Winston, always great to have you, and usually talk to us about things tech, and we have never seen more reliance on online, especially online grocery shopping. However, what is the problem with online grocery shopping?
Well, I mean, online grocery shopping is something that isn't new. I think we've seen services like Grocery Gateway do such a great job for so many years. And, I think a lot of people have seen these services as kind of a bit of a luxury in the past, but it's become a bit of a necessity for people in today's kind of reality for more and more people, an increasing amount of people. And because of this increased demand, I think we're having the opportunity to kind of see some of the flaws in the system as well. Mm-hmm. And we know that a lot of people are having trouble getting online grocery delivery. And arguably, I think there's a lot of people who are using the service who shouldn't be using the service.
Okay, who should be using the service? And let's try and make that clear now, because there is a point that I wanted to bring up here. But who should be using the service? I
mean, at the end of the day, if you can go to the grocery store, you shouldn't be using the service. So, you think of our vulnerable populations. If you're an essential worker and you don't want to go to the grocery store, these are just some of the examples of people who, they might need to use the service. So, if you can go to the grocery store, make sure you save those time slots for those who need it.
And the reason I wanted to bring this up is that I was talking, and we're going to do a special show on Friday, actually, for our frontline workers, for our police, fire, EMS, and nurses, doctors, healthcare workers.
because one of the problems is they can't get a lot of their groceries done because some of them work shift work. They don't have time to stand in line because you have to do that for some of the groceries. So that's what I wanted to give a shout out to those who are the frontline workers, and they're having a hard time getting through. I mean, they don't have time to 5 hours to line up at Costco.
Absolutely. And, one of the things there are a bunch of different apps and services to try to make this a little bit easier. But one of the things that I did find is a website called, it's GitHub, which is a website a lot of developers use. But a developer created a crowdsourced website where you can, I'll put the link in the comments. So
I can add that in there too. So which one are you talking about? The waiting times, right?
It's the waiting times.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to pop that up right now, in fact. So it's up on screen right now.
And so it's a COVID-19 waiting time website. And what it will do is it'll load the geodata in your area. So whether that's a grocery store, whether that's a drugstore, whether that's a market, a local market, a bunch of developers and people have loaded this map with the different points of interest, and you can click through color-coded pinpoints and it'll show you when it was last updated. You can submit your information as well and kind of help make this tool a little bit better, but it will give you an idea as to how long you can wait. So, some places, I'm in Check My Neighborhood grocery store, it's saying we're looking at about a 15-minute wait, but, there are other places where you can walk right in. Some places you're looking at, maybe a 45, 60-minute wait. So this just gives you kind of a chance to see if you are going to go to the grocery store, what kind of a wait you're looking at. And maybe this can deter you from using those online grocery services if you are able to safely go to the grocery store to get what you need.
I just put the clip on there just now. So if people want to go back into the comments, the clip is there. And as Winston mentions these different sites, I'm going to put those clips and comments up. Now, I was already a big fan of. Now, it started out called Click and Collect, but then it became what did the PC site become?
PC Express.
PC Express, and it's a great service. Problem is now I can't use it because the slots fill up very, very quickly. So, I mean, the big guys. And you're suggesting Instacart.ca, but even that can be quite busy.
Yeah, the big guys are the kind of obvious ones that people go to. So, I included Instacart there because Instacart is an app and website, Instacart.ca, that works with Loblaws primarily. There's Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart, which is part of the Loblaws umbrella. M&M Meat Shops is also there as well. So there's a variety of Canadian retailers, and customers can use this website whether or not you have a membership. And with all of these services, you do pay a level of a convenience fee, a delivery fee, and some of them charge a fuel surcharge. Some apps also offer free delivery depending on how much you spend. So these are kind of some of the considerations you need to keep in mind when you use these websites. But with respect to Instacart, delivery fee of $3.99 for orders over $35, $5.99 on orders below $35. So you're paying more for a smaller order. And you will have a shopper who will go through and they'll have an app on their phone and they can pick the ingredients as they go. Instacart, one of the app's beauties is you can actually select substitution. So if you're looking for something and they might not have it, you can identify a substitution and they'll go sub that out. During COVID-19, though, you aren't able to do that. So that's a really important thing to consider.
Okay. Charity says something. A safe shop TO is good, as a friend said, and delivery fee is fair. Have you heard of Safe Shop TO?
I have not, and it's been interesting, especially doing some research around this. You're seeing a lot of small businesses and great organizations step up to offer, safe shopping and grocery delivery to your door, so contactless grocery delivery. So that kind of plays into the larger theme that there are other services out there. The one thing that a lot of people have complained about with respect to Instacart, I'll mention some of the other ones quickly too. Grocery Grocery, Gateway, Metro, just some of the examples of large grocery stores that have online delivery services, is that the time slots are hard to get. So you're looking at, and I did an informal poll, 1.5 to 2 weeks to get a time slot. So you really have to plan in advance. You want to make sure you put enough into a cart so that you have that you have enough groceries to last until the next time. And of course, you don't want to.
Yeah, because you'll pay less. Someone had said, and let me bring that back up again. Debbie had said, these are good for Toronto. What about outside of TO? I believe Instacart and that crowdsourcing one work outside of Toronto. Those ones that we already gave the addresses to.
Yeah, some of the niche ones that we're going to talk to might be more specific to the greater Toronto area. There are kind of specific options that start to branch out outside of Toronto as well. Of course, the further outside of the big city that you go, your options are going to be less. But some kind of overall tips that we might want to talk about. The time slots are really important to consider. So time slots are added. Some websites, some grocery stores add new time slots at midnight. Other ones add first thing in the morning. So check to see when the time slots are added, and it's going to be competitive. Think of it like getting concert tickets to your favorite performer. Consider that. If you can't go to a major chain because their websites are down or there aren't any time slots, check out some of the other apps. Specialty grocery stores can cater to specific needs. So, diverse food offerings. There are other websites for that. Add some patience as well because it's going to take a little bit.
All right. Winston, we're going to talk a little bit more, but what I've been doing is I have been doing commercials for free for some local businesses that are still operating. So it's time right now for a biz bump. Here we go. Chai Pochana, an authentic Thai restaurant. Toronto.com says that authenticity is at the heart of everything Chef Pochana does. They're open from 11 in the morning till 9 in the evening, and you can order through Uber Eats and Foodora. They do offer gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian options. Chai Pochana is at 809 St. Clair Avenue West, out near Witchwood Park. And Winston, we need to really patronize our local businesses. I know it's great to order from the big franchises, but we're hoping as people slip through, skip the dishes and that they consider other businesses, local ones that aren't big franchises.
Absolutely. I see all the commercials for large restaurant chains, and I struggle, and we haven't personally, ordered from large chains, but it's the small businesses that need your help. So yeah, I've been going through Uber. I ordered takeout on Friday. There are people who are afraid of ordering takeout, and there are kind of safety features along the way. So if you do order Uber, skip the dishes, make sure you have your contactless turned on. They'll leave it on your doorstep, and it's as safe as it can be. So support your local businesses if you can. And we saw lots of success last Wednesday, I believe, with National Takeout Day.
Oh, National Takeout Day. I like that.
That was huge. And I think it's happening again next Wednesday.
Okay, by the way, we are waiting here. I live near Hospital Row, and I'm told at 7:45 there's supposed to be a parade of emergency services that go along Hospital Row. So I don't know if we'll see them or hear them. I'm like a block over, so I think they may have to circle around the block here. If they do, we're going to bring that to you live as it happens here. We're talking with Winston Sih right now, who is a tech guru and my friend, I'm glad to say, and is helping us out with shopping online when it comes to groceries. And if you've tried to do that, you realize that it can be extremely difficult. We've talked about Loblaws and Walmart. Let's talk a little bit about Metro right now, Winston.
Yeah, so with Metro, you're looking at a variety of things. So Metro comes in at about $11.99 plus HST for delivery. Time slots, I mentioned time slots before we went to your break, that time slots are vary depending on the grocer. So with Metro, you're looking at time slots first thing in the morning. You can pick your closest location, and they're set up with online ordering, or you can do the delivery pickup system. And the cutoff for modifying orders is 3:59 p.m., which is so just before 4 o'clock. You can edit your delivery, and then they'll finalize that for the delivery date, which would be the following day. So Metro is an example of one that kind of has a customized offering there for you.
Okay, important comment here. Carol says, Winston, I like the dog picture behind you.
A lot of people talk about it. I've done quite a few TV segments, and that dog painting gets a lot of comments.
And then Marie is saying she likes my lobster shirt. So there.
I like your lobster shirt too. It's very nice.
Okay, we've talked about Metro. Let us, before we go on to, I want to do a bit of another break as well, because I want to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. Alana McGinn is going to be talking about Better Sleep. She's from the Better Sleep site, and she's going to be helping us out. Then Friday, celebrating and supporting the frontline workers. We're going to do a special show on Friday that is really going to highlight the frontline workers, what they do, and what they need from us. For instance, what they need from us, stop calling 911 because you see two people too close to each other. Do not call 911 because you see someone who's having a party or something like that. That's not what 911 is for. Their call volume has increased dramatically, and they don't need people saying, well, I think I saw two guys walking like 5 feet from each other and not 6 feet from each other. So you know what? They're there for emergencies. So please do respect that. And then Friday, we are going to honor them with a special show. All right, Winston, I want to get to some of your tips in general before we continue on with some specialty stores. And I'll bring them up on the screen right now. We can go through them one by one. You say check out other apps, because I guess a lot of us are used to using the one app, right?
Absolutely. So, you think of the big guys that I just talked about. They're great apps on a day-to-day basis, but they're so overloaded with people trying to get time slots and get all of their ingredients that they're having to reject a lot of people. I was reading through the comments that some people were having a hard time getting their orders delivered, or their orders deliver and they only got 25 to 30% of their order. It's a difficult reality, but the grocers are juggling with so many different items. So if you can't get through with the major chain, check out other local apps. And there are other businesses that have now retooled to be an online grocery delivery service. So specialty grocery stores can cater to specific needs. That's number 2. We'll go through some of those apps in a moment. Add some patience to your cart. You might have to wait a week or 2 to get your groceries, but that's the reality we're in. And if you need to rely on that service, it is a reality that you're going to have to face. And that's why we collectively need to be mindful as to whether we need to use these services or not. Get a time slot when others aren't online. So if the grocery store refreshes their time slots at midnight, you're going to have to sit there at midnight like you're looking for concert tickets, and be specific. Some apps allow you to identify substitutions if your desired item isn't available. So if you can't get what you need, let them know as to what you could want instead, and you might be more happy that way.
All right, Winston talking to us right now about working online with these the grocery apps. A lot. Now, this is an interesting question. Let me just bring it up here. Cheryl says, "Can you order online and use cash?" Do you know?
So these, I do not know of an app that allows you to use cash. These typically all work on a digital system, so you have to put your credit card. Some allow you to do PayPal, so you could use your debit card as well, because a lot of people, might not have a credit card. So if you can use PayPal, I believe Walmart allows you to use PayPal, you will be able to use your debit card. So that's the closest thing to kind of cash that you have, that I would say. But cash, kind of cold hard cash with your dollar bills, I don't know of one myself.
Okay. Now, this is interesting, and I'll bring the comment back up. There are so many services that have started up due to the virus and self-isolating. Just check them out carefully. Some may be questionable. Unfortunately, always there is someone out there who is wanting to rip us off. But in some cases, there are so many places that have really bent over backwards and are trying hard. So have you heard much about the scams?
Well, I've seen a bunch of text scams out there. And Kevin, when we used to work on the morning show, we used to talk about all of these scams whenever there was some sort of an event in the news. If there was either a natural disaster or something happening, we would see all these scams pop up. And it's really unfortunate, because that's not the way that it should be, but it's a reality that we're in. So we should be mindful, especially if you're getting text messages saying click here to, accept your grocery delivery. be weary of those. That's when we do go back and say use the trusted websites, do your research. So, if it isn't a big grocery store, check out some of the smaller ones, and we're going to have some great recommendations that are trusted. Just make sure to do your homework.
Okay, let's talk about something called, is it Bondi or Bondi produce?
Bondi produce. They're great. So they're an example of a business that's kind of pivoted their operations to serve a need. So they're typically a service that services restaurants. And we know that restaurants, they typically serve restaurants that make 500 deliveries a day. They are down a lot of business, of course. So they're pivoting and doing local grocery deliveries for home. So you do have to spend a minimum of $150. So it is good for shopping ahead for the week. And they deliver 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 to 4 p.m. And they work with a bunch of great local Toronto restaurants. Buka being one, Familia Baldassare, they make great pastas, greenhouse juices. These are all local businesses that are partnered with Bondi Produce, and you can get some really unique ingredients and support a small business at the same time. So it's not takeout, it's not delivery where the food's already made. You're getting restaurant quality ingredients to your doorstep, and you can make some really great meals yourself. So it's a great way to mix things up and support local businesses at the same time.
Okay, the next one I want to go to, let me just bring this up here. I actually had to check your spelling on this one when you sent it to me. It's an app called Grocery.
Grocery. So it is a website an app that caters to, the Asian community. It's for people who are looking for Asian ingredients. They are partnered with a handful of grocery stores from H Mart, Lucky Moose, Pacific Fresh Foods, Food Market, as well as a handful of other ones. And what you can do is, of course, order these items ahead of time. With this one, I will say I found getting a time slot a little bit difficult. $7.99 is your delivery fee, and they'll also charge a 5% service fee. But what's great about it is you can you pick from a variety of fresh ingredients, from noodles to frozen foods, canned goods, your fresh produce, your proteins, and then of course some really awesome snacks that you can only get at some of these Asian grocery stores. So if you can't find some of these more unique items in a Loblaws or Metro Food Basics, check out some of the diverse offerings at Grocery, and you're only paying a small service fee.
So I'm reminding people I am putting all of the links to these apps and the services in the comments section, and at the end of the show we'll go through them again, and I will put them all on one by one through here. All right, and another one now, and again I can ask you the pronunciation on this one. Appenroot.
Yeah, it's a great online grocery delivery, and delivery is free if you spend over $100. And I was just glancing in the comments again, Kev, and I love the idea of shopping with your neighbors. So some of these apps have quite a high minimum to get your either delivery fee or just to be eligible for delivery. So if you're looking to meet that minimum delivery, consider going in with your neighbors, and maybe there's a neighbor who can't go grocery shopping, and you can kind of chip in on grocery delivery. But Appenroot serves Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton. So if you're outside of Toronto and you're in Brampton or Mississauga, it's a great way to get some of your Indian and Pakistani ingredients there. They call themselves the first online Indian and Pakistani grocery store, and they have a virtual offering now. And they deliver Monday through Sunday, so 7 days a week in the evening, so 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Place your grocery order before noon that day, and then you'll get the groceries same day, and the slots are available first come first serve. So that's one that you're going to want to check for time slots first thing in the morning, but plays into the same idea that you can get some really great diverse ingredients outside of your big grocery stores.
And by all means, Jennifer has just put out a comment that any viewers watching have any other great options for delivery service you have used, please share. So yes, please put those on there. But again, I ask everybody to exercise some caution in what you do. Let's talk again, because we spoke about it at the beginning of the show, and some people may just be joining us right now. Let's talk about online grocery shopping. You know, it's convenient, it's great. We don't have to go to the grocery store. However, it is time that maybe we started considering, is it possible? If it's possible for us to go to the grocery store, you're saying don't use the online shopping.
That's right. That's a really important reminder. You know, we mentioned it early on where, you know, if you can't go to the grocery store, go to the grocery store, help out a neighbor. And there's also a great incentive in supporting local as well. You know, pick a couple days a week, 1 or 2 days a week, where you're supporting a local restaurant that's still open for takeout. And Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, DoorDash is another one. They have some really great local restaurants in your area. You just have to put in your postal code, and you'll be able to see all of the local restaurants that are still open for business for takeout and delivery support. The other thing too, a lot of these apps have smaller, not grocery stores, but convenience style stores that aren't necessarily bringing you food that's ready made, but you can also get some ingredients from them, and they can deliver within an hour. So, you know, if you are having a hard time waiting a couple weeks for a time slot, maybe you want to just get a couple items from the convenience store down the street that is a small business. You can get that in under an hour and still support them as well.
Do you think maybe we've seen the start of something? We've seen a shift now over to online grocery ordering? Because I know that some of the apps are having a tough time convincing people that was the way to go, but now that everybody's experiencing it, are we seeing something that's going to really change in the long run?
Well, I think we're in this time where because of the increased demand, these apps and these websites and the grocery stores have an opportunity to work out a lot of the bugs. And whether that's just from a logistics standpoint, getting the groceries to your door, to just kind of figuring out the technology that people like, the kind of sweet spot with pricing. Because one of the things a lot of people complain about is the pricing. You know, $11.99 is a lot of money to pay for online grocery delivery if you're just picking up a few essentials. And it also requires a certain kind of mindset shift where you might have to plan out a little bit more to get more groceries. I will say I'm one of those people who, because I have the convenience of having a grocery store nearby, if I can go grocery shopping 3 times a week, I'd rather do that than do one big grocery shop. And doing online shopping, you have to kind of think in that way where you shop once a week.
All right, and one thing we haven't mentioned, just a second, because mine just came in literally about 20 minutes before I went on the air, is, of course, the dinner services. So what I can do, I'm just going to switch to my camera here for a second, Winston. Do that one? Yeah, okay, I can do that one. Let me go back to that. Oh, yeah, okay, no worries. Parker's rubbing out the address. He's a nervous producer. Okay, where was that? Where can I find that camera? You get it, if you can get it. All right, so there we go. Hold on. So these are, you know, yes, they may seem, let me just move this a bit here. They may seem a bit pricey, but I actually have found myself saving money with this because I'm not buying a whole bunch of ingredients that end up going to waste, right? So this is the way it's delivered. It comes with all the different bags. So this is a herb turkey sandwich with cherry sauce, and so there's the recipe for it. The recipes are in there as well. All the meats are in the bottom, and they are packed with these ice blocks so they don't go bad. And Winston, honestly, I have found, let's move this aside here. I have found that I really feel like I am saving money because, again, if I'm getting, okay, let's open this one up. You're still with me, right, Winston? I haven't lost you?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So
And I will say these are great. I've used a handful of these, including HelloFresh. Good Food is another Canadian company that does this, and it's nice because they do give you those little sauces and condiments that you don't need to buy a big bottle
Yeah.
of, or if you only need a quarter of an onion, you don't throw half of it out.
So yeah, I mean, for instance, these artesian buns. I would, normally I don't eat these very much, but they're necessary for this recipe, and they only send two. So therefore, I don't have to buy a whole package of buns and because I don't use them very much, even leaving them in the freezer, they tend to go bad. Parsley. The herbs you get in the store sometimes, it drives me nuts. So when you get parsley, you get this huge bunch. I'm not going to use that huge bunch. They just send a little bit. So they are worth looking into, and yes, they can seem more expensive, but I have been going to the grocery store much less since I've gotten them, and I find I'm actually saving money because of it.
hmm If you're looking at the economics, trees, I've thought a lot about this. It really depends on how many people are in your family. It also depends on, the variety. So if you want this kind of convenient, there's also the convenience kind of cost and factor in this as well. If a few days a week you don't really want to plan out a whole meal and you can have a recipe card given to you with all of the ingredients there and it's just a matter of cooking it and you can cook something that you want and look forward to, it's a great way to cook without waste. And economically, it makes more sense than throwing a bunch of ingredients out that you don't want or need. So, these are great. And the one other thing I'll add to that, Kev, is I really like some of the local businesses have farmers market kind of food boxes. There are ones that offer proteins as well, where you get a variety at kind of a value cost. You might have to pay $100 for a box of different cuts of chicken. But you can put them in the freezer and you can have different ways of preparing it. But it's another way to kind of mix things up and once again support local businesses.
Now, I brought a comment up and I'm going to bring it back up again. Glynis, and I hope I said that correctly. And they're saying, I thought we were being encouraged to stay home and online shop instead of going out. That in a perfect world would be good. You are being encouraged to stay home when not necessary, okay? And when I say that, I mean it's necessary for you to go get food. It's necessary for you to go out and get that. And when you go to the grocery store, there are so many protocols in place that there's distancing. They make sure people don't get too close, only a few customers in at a time. And yes, it would be great if we could stay home and online shop, but it's not practical because, as you see, it's very hard to get a slot. It's very hard to get a slot. So instead, we need to allow people who are shut-ins, seniors, people who are immune compromised, healthcare workers, frontline workers. We need to allow them these online slots. I've talked to many, especially emergency workers, who can't get any online grocery slots at all. So yes, it would be great to be able to stay home, and we are being asked to stay home. But in this case, you do have to go out. You just have to exercise caution. And I have gone out once a week to the grocery store, and I've been okay. I wear gloves, and I distance myself, and I make sure I wash well when I come home. So it is possible. But yes, it does seem kind of counterintuitive to what they're saying. But no, we need now to seriously consider, if you can get to the grocery store, I'm begging you to do it and leave the online shopping to those who cannot. And I know there were a lot of you who were saying that you have no choice. Some of us have no choice but to go to the grocery store. Some of us live in a rural area. That's true. Okay, and here's another thing too, Winston, as Diana says, I'm saving money and planning ahead. Haven't eaten out or bought gas in over a month. This is very true about what's going on. Is we're actually planning things out and saving money.
Yeah, I mean, we filled up the car once in the last month, and of course, gas is much cheaper right now. Yeah, you're not eating out as much. The other thing is alcohol delivery. There are, different websites that allow you to now order alcohol. So if you're looking for just a glass of wine, or if you're looking for some beer, you can do that, and you can add that to your delivery as well. The other thing that I thought would be worth mentioning
Winston,
too is.
I've done something.
For sure.
I've done something horribly wrong. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. There were two of me.
Okay.
There were two of me, Winston.
Well, I'm sure people like seeing two of you. The other thing is there's a great website. So we were talking about different small businesses locally that have retooled their operations to kind of feed that need. There's an office coffee delivery company. So these are companies that come in and will replace the filters and bring in coffee for your offices. Well, with everyone working from home, offices have canceled this delivery. There's a service called Go Java. Go Java, and they have a new website called gojavagrocery.ca. They offer next day delivery. And so they'll source out fresh ingredients. They have all of the trucks, and they have the delivery people that normally service offices. Well, they're now doing grocery delivery to your door. It's for people in the GTA. You receive it. They have to receive the orders by 4 p.m. and you'll get the groceries next day. It's $4.99 for deliveries over $100, $9.99 for deliveries under $100. So it's just yet another great way to use that kind of a service and leave the bigger grocery stores and those time slots for the essential workers, the senior citizens who need them, so that it's easy for them to find. Go javagrocery.ca.
And I think that was the ideal in the beginning, that we would all online shop. I don't think anybody foresaw this problem. So we have noticed with isolation that we've had to adjust, we've had to adapt. And one of the things we have to adjust to now is, if you can go to the grocery store, you need to go to the grocery store. Someone just put a website, and Parker, could you look this up for me? GetGroceryHero.com. And Jennifer says you can volunteer to shop for frontline workers and healthcare workers. Have you heard of GetGroceryHero.com?
I actually read an article about it. GetGroceryHero.com. There are a variety. If you do a quick search online, you can also, put yourself available to go grocery shopping for seniors who, again, don't want to or can't go to the grocery store. It's a website that someone has launched, and it will connect you with somebody, especially if you're a frontline medical professional, a worker who can't get themselves to the grocery store. You send them your list, and it's kind of having a personal shopper. It's the idea of community, Canadians coming together in this time of need. And there's a variety of other websites that are like that too.
Jennifer, thank you so much for that tip. So once again, getgroceryhero.com. So it's a way you can give back. Someone was talking to about someone we had on a few weeks ago, and that was the Good Neighbors Project, or Neighbors. Oh man, can you help me out, because I want to make sure I get their Facebook name right? Neighbors helping neighbors, good neighbors. I'm not too sure about that, but they're based out of Mississauga, but they serve the entire GTHA and in some other communities as well. So someone help keep me honest here, because they're such a good service. I do not want to do them the disservice of getting their name wrong. The Good Neighbor Project. Just hoping someone comes up with it, because this is really important, because they do such great work, and they're overworked, and they need volunteers. They need a lot of volunteers right now. Okay, so I'm hearing it now, actually. Just before we continue on, Winston, we have more to talk about, folks. Over to the window. Hold on, and I can hear some sirens coming down University Avenue, down Hospital Row. Toronto Emergency Service. Can't see them, I know, but I'll just go over so you can hear them. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear that, Winston? Oh, hold on, my microphone did not. Yeah, can you hear me, Winston? I'm not sure if he can still hear. Can you still hear me, Winston? I'm not sure. Good Neighborhood Project. Okay, so I'm going to try and put the microphone out the window.
Yep, I can hear it.
Okay, so I'm going to. There we go. You can actually see them now. Okay. You're going to have to help me aim here, Parker. Actually, Parker's going to... You want to fire up that camera? Are you live on that one? Switch to the live one. Switch to the live one for me. Switch to the live one if you could, yeah.
Let me just bring that up. It's not ready yet. So what you're hearing is emergency services are doing a parade outside. Bring that up. There we go. They are circling Hospital Row, and it's in honor of our emergency workers, our frontline workers. There we go. So I apologize for the technical problems, but it's just there we go. I'll give you a better look. I can see a court services vehicle there. So fire. I see a pumper going by. I see armored trucks too. That's a nice touch. You can see the armored trucks because they're part of they're out there as well, risking their lives as well. And what else do we have there? That's the command. That's the command vehicle you see just in front of Sick Kids Hospital. That's one of the fire command units. They've got several. A lot of security guards. You see that? Those cars behind the command vehicle, those are all security guards. They're out there as well. Constantly. They're out there because security has been busy at their usual locations, but they also have to keep a lot of businesses that have been closed down safe. So it's nice to see they're represented. I'm gonna keep putting my head out here so I can see who's there. And at the same time, trying to make sure I don't throw the Mac out the window. So there's a live look right now just outside Sick Kids Hospital as frontline workers are thanking other frontline workers. And I'm proud to say that my daughter works at Sick Kids Hospital as an RN. So that's wonderful to see. And there we go. Okay, that was the end of it there. Let me get back in. Hold on there, Winston. I'll get back to you. Don't have all the
conveniences of a TV studio here. There we go. All right, Winston, are you still?
I am still here.
Okay, great. All right, sorry, that was a little confusing, but I definitely wanted to bring that to people.
So great to see.
Yeah. And I nearly put my glasses out the window with that as well. Okay, what haven't we not got? I think we've gotten to everything, so let's do a quick review, and let's start with Instacart.
Okay, so a quick review with Instacart. They're part of the network of large grocery stores that do online delivery. So Instacart serves Loblaws, Walmart, M&M shoppers as well. So you get a nice variety. You have free options as well as options for people with a membership. And they also have kind of delivery minimums as well. So be mindful of that. Instacart.ca. Grocery Gateway is if you want to shop with Longos, time slots refreshed nightly, grocerygateway.com. Metro has one as well, $11.99 plus HST.
Hold on, Winston.
Is their delivery fee.
Hold on, Winston. I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with you. Hold on. I'm trying to put these all out here right now.
You're putting them in.
And run the videos. Okay, now Grocery Gateway and then Metro.
And then Metro, $11.99 plus HST. That's their fee. Time slots are added every morning, and you can edit your orders up until 3:59 p.m., and then they'll finalize it for delivery the following day. It allows you to pick from your closest location, so you get the freshest ingredients as well.
Okay, let's talk about, let me just put this one on. Let us talk about the wait times, the crowdsource site.
Yes. So this is a great one. It's COVID-19-waiting-time.thejoin.tech. So you'll put that link in there.
It's on there right now.
And Excellent. And what's great about it is it loads all the grocery stores, markets, drugstores in your area, and it gives you an idea as to around how long you can anticipate to wait before getting into the grocery stores. Handy if it's not such a nice day. Pick a good grocery store that the wait time is the least. Points are color coded, so it's great if you can get yourself to the grocery store just to kind of, not deter, but encourage people to get out to the grocery stores if they can.
Bondi Produce.
Yes, bondproduce.com/home delivery. 3 days a week, they offer delivery. They work with some pretty large restaurants from Buca, Familia Baldassar, great pastas there, greenhouse juices as well. So small businesses that are, of course, doing their best to stay in business. They typically serve restaurants, but they're serving, people and homes with groceries. So a great way to support local businesses with some pretty awesome restaurant quality ingredients. There's a $150 minimum, but it is good if you want to shop ahead for the week or if you want to go in for delivery with a neighbor, which is a good reminder to check in on your neighbors.
Okay, Ghostery. And yes, you heard it right.
Ghostery. Yes, Ghostery serves Toronto's Asian communities as well as people who are looking for Asian grocery ingredients. So they work with stores from H Mart to Lucky Moose, Pacific Fresh Food Market. Just some of the examples of Asian grocery stores they're partnered with. They charge around $7.99 for a delivery fee as well as a 5% service fee. You can get everything from noodles to fresh and frozen foods, candies, canned goods. You get veggies, fruit, chips, snacks, great Asian snacks like Pocky, ramen, all the good stuff as well. And then for the Indian community, Indian and Pakistani community, Apni Roots as one. Delivery is free if you spend over $100. Serves Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton. And you can also select contactless pickup if you want to drive there and pick it up. You can get some pretty awesome ingredients. They do deliveries in the evenings. So if you get the order in before, what time is it? Before noon, you can get your groceries same day, first come, first served basis for the time slots.
All right, Winston, this has been fantastic. Thank you very, very much. And while I'm here, I just saw the link go by. Someone had passed it on to me. The Good Neighborhood. It's there. Where is it? Here it is. This is the email for them, and I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. info@goodneighborhoodproject.com. So it's a Good Neighborhood Project. They are looking for volunteers to help to shop and deliver food to those who can't get to the grocery store. So you know what? You're not doing anything anyway, right? You haven't used up much gas. Just please give them a call, give them an email, and volunteer. Winston, thank you so much for this. Anything else you want to add?
Last thing I guess I should say is if you're using these services, make sure you take care of the delivery people that come, deliver your groceries. They're putting themselves on the line as well to serve you. So make sure to tip them well and remember to support the small businesses out there.
Definitely. All right, Winston Sih, thank you so much for this, my friend, and we will talk to you again very soon.
Good to see you, Kev.
All right, bye-bye. Winston Sih talking to us this evening. Always good to have him on. Tomorrow on the program, Alana McGinn will be here. She is our sleep expert. She is back, and she has some great tips on getting that good sleep that a lot of you have been complaining about. Then Friday, we celebrate and support our frontline workers, our healthcare workers, our emergency services. There's a lot of things we can do for them. One of the things, and this is interesting, is we are going to be talking about mental health. And so this show is not just for us who are not emergency workers, but if you know of an emergency worker, if you're a family, we're going to be talking about their mental health and trying to improve it, because the services that were always available for our frontline workers aren't always that available now because of isolation, because a lot of it required being face-to-face with someone. So we're going to talk about mental health care for our emergency workers as well as what we can do to support them. So thank you very much to Winston. Thank you for being here tonight. We're going to get together again tomorrow night for another session. I guess we can call these sessions. Don't forget, if you want to, I really would like to hear from you, by the way. if you want to be an isolator, on the isolator panel, if you have a business that you want to get a biz bump, anything else you want to hear about, believe me, sometimes it's hard to come up with a topic for the show every day. So give me an email, please. I welcome it. First aid for your mental health at gmail.com. First aid for your mental health at gmail.com. And before we go, let me do the biz bump one more time for you today. We want you to support local. So how about supporting Chai Pochana Authentic Thai Restaurant? Toronto.com says that authenticity is at the heart of everything Chef Pochana does. They're open 11 in the morning until 9 p.m. every day, and you can order through Uber Eats and Foodora. And as Winston said, don't forget, tip the delivery people well, okay? They do offer gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian options. Chai Pochana is at 809 St. Clair Avenue West near Witchwood Park. All right. That is it for another night. That is a wrap. Thank you very much to Parker for all he does as well. And thank you to all of you. So please, until we see each other tomorrow, take care of yourself and take care of each other.